Hey guys, how's it going? Swears is here. Hope everyone is well. Wednesday, the 3rd of the 6th, 2026. It's 11:34 a.m. here in the UK. And shout out to everybody wherever you are. If you're over in the States, hope everyone is well. And you'll be a few hours behind us. And we're talking about a stock from what exchange is it on? Yeah, New York Stock Exchange. So this came to our attention yesterday, right? Literally yesterday. It's getting some decent impressions, the chart idea. Right, Coursera Incorporated on the New York Stock Exchange. It closed yesterday at $5.54. Right, closed down a little bit. And we've done a bit of research. We've done a gold class report. And we've done a downstream forensic share composition report, not financial advice for entertainment and educational purposes only. And we really like the look of it. I've already published my little chart idea, okay, of retroactive backtesting, which is our own methodology of how we think the market works from a deterministic geometrical perspective. But let's not go down any crazy rabbit holes today. I just want to show you how I got there with the chart thesis, all right? And we have done some 6 visualizations of the denominator, which is the share composition, and it scored, according to our scoring, pretty decently, 5.9 out of 10, which is pretty good. And it's not perfect, of course, but from a structural perspective, all things considered, we like the look of it. We like the look of it. Now, looking at the chart idea, right? Very, very briefly, this here is the former downtrend. So we're looking at Coursera Incorporated on the daily chart, right? So we're looking at the daily chart. It's spiked down here. I've drawn the previous downtrend, as we can see, right? So previous downtrend, very, very pretty easy, really, to understand this chart perspective, right? This chart idea. So that was the previous downtrend. I've got a touch dominant trend line going from 2024, right, which gives us this really nice touch dominant trend line idea, okay, which I've drawn. So then I replicate that trend line idea and I stick it to the swing lows. We've got permission to go all the way down to the bottom because we can see that price did break, come back in several times. So we've got permission to go as a macro ascending bullish channel idea, which exists within the previous former downtrend. This is how price moves, right? This is how price moves from the macro to the meso to the micro. It all moves the same. It's deterministic in its composition. It's very in the composition of how it actually moves. So then we zoom in to recent price action. We can see stabilization, volumetric foundational support in clusters is giving credence to this idea of this emerging, okay, breakout macro structure with Coursera Incorporated, right? We can see the clusters there, volumetric foundational support, right? Then on the daily chart, guys, if we zoom in, we can see a convergence starting like it usually does with the lower EMAs, right? So we can see convergence starting with the 9, the 21, the 50, okay? We can see the bigger EMAs above that convergence, but heading downwards. The 100 and the 200 all moving downwards, but we've got convergence starting with the lower time frame EMAs already. We've got also, which is very interesting, this is my macro support idea of the macro bullish ascending channel idea. We've got pennant triangle, which is short-term bullish continuation. So we have, when we put the picture pieces together of this geometric puzzle, we seem to have bullish convergence, macro ascending channel idea, upper market structure. Now what we've also got, guys, right, we've got the potential of multiple fib extensions, right, of fib extension levels, right, which appear to be forming on the daily chart. Now this also translates to the 4 hour, and it also translates upscale to the weekly, but for some reason I just thought, you know what, let's have a look at the daily, because the daily is a pretty good barometer, isn't it? The daily is a pretty good barometer. I could jump to the weekly and show you my thesis and how it translates to the weekly, but for the time being, this is what I believe we've got with Coursera Incorporated. The macroeconomics, thematics, financials, fundamentals, and the technicals all are in alignment with this idea, right? With this idea, we could talk about all that, but you know, we don't have the time. I wanted to do a quick video, right, just to support my little tweet, which I've dropped, my chart idea, which I dropped yesterday on this ticker. I think it's a hidden gem. I think it's got asymmetric capabilities. I think it's a potential for a symmetry play. I really do. For all the reasons that I'm going through in this video, there's upper market structure. We've got emergence of breakout channel moving within the former downtrend. That's the retroactive backtesting methodology right there. I've put all the little boxes there just to show, just to highlight my thoughts on why I've drawn this idea and why I'm calling this move bullish. Fundamentally, when you actually look at it, right, in a nutshell, trend reversal, right? Trend reversal. It's going out, in my opinion, from a market maker, institutional perspective, from distribution to accumulation, right? Market structure, trend reversal. I mean, the top of this trend, guys, is over $15, right? Not financial advice. I think there's some beautiful movement, some beautiful market structure. Let's hope we're right, yeah? That's all I wanted to do today. Hope everyone's well. It's not advice. It's simply for education and entertainment. I'll stick this video on X, stick it on YouTube, and hopefully it'll make sense. Have a great day, guys.